The video froze halfway through his laugh. My son's hand shook while filming, but the picture was clear enough. My medals, burning. My uniform, ash in the wind. And the boyfriend's voice cutting through it all. Worthless soldier trash. They cheered. My ex clapped along like it was a show. I didn't feel rage, I felt clarity. The kind of clarity that comes only in combat, when everything else fades and only the target remains. I made 3 calls, his employer first, then his parole officer, then his wife. Yes, his wife. The one he still kept hidden while parading in front of my boy. By sunset, I had 34 missed calls. Their world was already cracking, but I was just getting started. Betrayal doesn't scream, it whispers. In late bills stacked behind the TV. In perfume on my son's jacket that wasn't hers. In the hollow way she looked at me when I dropped him off, as if she'd already scrubbed me out of the picture. The video wasn't the first sign, it was just the loudest. I told myself once that she wouldn't dare, that marriage, years, and scars meant something, that fidelity was more than a word. But truth doesn't bend for hope. Truth cuts. She had been living another life behind my back, with him, while my son watched, while my name became a punchline at their bonfire. It wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation, and humiliation doesn't heal, it hunts. I started with silence. She thought silence meant weakness. She never understood silence was reconnaissance. Phone records, bank slips, receipts tucked into her purse. Patterns formed, hotel rooms, transfers, weekend disappearances. The boyfriend wasn't just a parasite, he was reckless. DUIs buried under parole violations, a work suspension he hid from her, and a marriage certificate he hadn't dissolved. Every thread I pulled led to another knot in the web. I didn't show anger. Anger alerts the enemy. I smiled during pickups, cracked jokes with my son, nodded through her excuses. Inside, the storm sharpened. Outside, I was calm water. By the time I sat down with the investigator, an old friend who owed me favors, I already knew what he would find. I just needed confirmation, the truth in black and white. And when the truth arrived, it was heavier than any weapon I'd carried in war. The file slid across the table, thin but devastating. His employment record, terminated. His parole, violated. His wife, still legally bound. And her name tied to every part of it. Emails, deposits, photos. The pieces laid bare. I sat in the kitchen while she brewed coffee. My son slept upstairs. She thought the night was ordinary. I placed the file on the counter, said nothing. She opened it page by page. Her face cracked. Eyes flickered from guilt to terror. "This isn't—" I raised my hand. Silence. Her mouth opened, then closed. Words failed where evidence didn't. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. My stillness was louder than any fury. She realized in that moment there was no defense left, only exposure. I called her boyfriend, put him on speaker. "Your wife answered," I said, calm as a surgeon. Dead silence. Then a scramble, a stammer, a curse. I ended the call. Her face drained. Whatever lies she might have prepared, they dissolved with that one move. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to fight. I had already detonated the truth under her feet. She begged then. Promises, apologies, hands clawing at mine. I pulled back. "Everything you burned," I said, my voice low, "was nothing compared to what you've just lost." Her tears meant nothing. They were too late. I left the papers on the counter. Divorce, custody, everything lined up. She didn't sign that night. She would. They always do when the walls collapse. I walked out without looking back. My son would never see me broken. Outside, the air was cold, clear, the kind of night where the silence feels earned. I understood then, betrayal doesn't end with vengeance. It ends with detachment. I hadn't lost her, I had shed her. Like old skin, burned away in her own fire. The uniform she destroyed was just fabric. The medals were only metal. But the man she thought she ruined, he was still here, and colder than she'd ever imagined.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.